You guys hear me? Let's see what this link is. Hold on 1 second here. All right, so you guys all obviously have the webinar link for the rest of this month. You should only have to register once and then just log in at the times. And then I sent out yesterday access to the Google Drive folder, whatever it's called, for the webinar replays. If you didn't get that, let me know. Something else I was going to tell you guys too. Yeah, you have to have a Gmail account. Most of you guys send it to me, but you have to have a Gmail account to access that. So just if you don't have one, just make one. They're free. Just make it like a specific trading Gmail account or something. All right, let's see here. Hold on, let me send this to him real quick because I think I just sent this to him actually. Hold on.
Screen stops.
All right, Kurt, there's some stuff firing off here. Let me send this to him. All right, you should have that. Let me get on it. Sorry guys, I'm sick and so I keep clearing my throat. The other day I thought it was because I was talking so much, but sick for 3 days. I got to go get a COVID test today. I don't think I have COVID, but my wife won't. She basically wants me to get tested, so I got to go get tested because I got kids and stuff. All right, let's see here. I haven't shared my screen yet, have I? All right, you guys got my TAS stuff, TAS screen. Anyone? Bueller? Okay, cool. All right. All right, so the main one I'm watching here, we've been talking about it now for 2 days, is gold. Good morning. So yesterday we talked about how, hold on a second, I lost my jar guy again. It's such a pain in my, here's the jar guy, but I don't see where the, it's funny, when I'm sick, everything is like magnified. It feels like the world is ending. My head is like killing me. Hold on 1 second. Control. Come on, man. Where is this thing? Now I can't do anything besides drop. I can't even get on my, oh my gosh, you gotta be kidding me. That makes a lot of sense. Oh, here it is. Little bugger. All right, got it. Hold on. All right. I don't like starts to days like this when I'm trading. Like everything is, like my internet went down and so on and so forth. So Anyway, we've been talking about gold. It's still very bullish. Go back and watch the webinars. I'm not going to keep going through all this, the longer term stuff, but we're long-term bullish. We talked about Monday, how we had a failed breakout. So it was that day not to be long. I didn't want to go short because on the longer time frame, we're still bullish. And then yesterday we built great balance here. Then we broke out, and we built balance here, broke out, failed, and then we came back overnight right to the high volume node of this guy. There was this was at 1 in the morning. I actually had woken up because I was dying of thirst because I'm sick, and the stop run, I'll show you this here in a second, but there was a Dumb and Dumber stop run right here, and I got long on my one of my other accounts, just tiny, and then now we're up here. So this, is this going to break out of this guy? If it does, this is the move we've been waiting for, or is it going to do that again? Let's see, gold's been very, the only setup that's worked on the long side as far as the SI indicator setup, well, this one's working right now. This is a stop and hold, but the only one that's worked is like the ones on the sell-offs, the ones on the, like there was one last night I posted, I was going to get long earlier in the evening. What was it? Actually, I don't like going on these tangents because I want to cover all these markets first. But I just want to show you here quickly because this is the most important market in my opinion, besides the equities about to break down. You see the stop and run. I haven't drawn this zone yet, but this was almost 200, and we basically held it. You can see where my internet went out here. But you can try along here. Stop goes below where this stop run started. This is the zone from last night that was a Dumb and Dumber. Let me get rid of this and then redraw it. Just so we know where in case you guys want to get long. There to there. So this is a stop and hold, right? See the stop run? I mean, as of right now, again, none of these bullish signals the last couple of days have been working. Like, I mean, not that the setup fails, but it's like you think it's going to be a stop and hold like this, and it's just like a Dumb and Dumber, and then it fails. It fails, which is kind of strange for the market context that I think we're in, breaking out of that longer term balance. But anyway, this is a stop and hold. Here's your stop run. Here's the zone, broke above, held, tried to dip and below. So you can go long here with a stop here. Actually, I'm going to do that on this account. Or this is sim, but again, I'm trading the same stuff on I have 3 different live accounts that I'm trading. So this is just to show you guys the areas where we get in, so on and so forth. I'm going to go 10 ticks below this zone. I'm going to give it a little breathing room. But again, these bullish things have not been working lately. I don't know why. The one I did catch again quickly was last night. Literally woke up and just happened to catch it. Where's that? Right here. This was a Dumb and Dumber. This is a lot of volume overnight. You see the stop run here. You can see the stops on the chart. I drew the zone, held the zone, gone. So again, I got long tiny in my other account because I wasn't completely convinced we were going to stop right at this little guy here. I just showed you this one here. That was where that Dumb and Dumber happened. I thought we may come down into this bigger guy, which we still may. That'll still be a good long. But if we break out, I'm still taking long. So we are long there. Again, risking about 30 ticks on this trade though. But again, if this holds and then goes, it's going to be a nice trade. It's probably going to be a 100+ point trade. If you don't want to take that long there, I can completely understand it because they keep failing for some reason. The other reason I like gold is market profile. We've broken out of this composite on top of everything else we've been talking about. This is a multi-day. Well, I'm sure you guys are asking questions too. I just got to get through this real quick. So this is since 4/16, this composite, and we broke out. So again, I could see this coming back and retesting it, then going. If it does, then I'm gonna get stopped out, but it is what it is. I have to play my signals. I don't want to miss this thing holding and then ripping. So if I get stepped out, I will look for other longs down here or in, you know, those balance areas, the high volume nodes at the tops of that bigger balance area. This guy down here. So keep an eye on that. Gold's just been very difficult to trade as far as trending lately. It's really annoying. All right, let's see what's going on in crude. A couple big stops, I think. I'm very mad at myself yesterday at the close. This thing came back. We caught this breakdown yesterday. It was golden. It was so fast and awesome, and didn't trade like crude trades with its whipsaw nonsense. And I was looking at this at the close yesterday. So we caught this move down. We talked about this again. Go back to the replays. Last couple of days, yesterday's replay in the morning, I believe it was. Anyway, we broke down. Great trade. Came where? To the top of this balance area and bounced. And then at the close, we came up here right to where we broke down from, and there was ice, broken ice. There was buy ice, but it just has not been reliable at the very close. You know, like any of these iceberg stuff, like right at the close of these markets, it's not as reliable as regular trading hours. I didn't take it, and then look at that. I mean, this is just gold. This is what you look for, right? You wait for returns to balance areas, either the bottom or the high volume node, and you can expect one of those if it's legitimately breaking down. And look at that. Now we're getting into the top of this guy again, right? Actually, it was over here, but you can't possibly take longs now because this is much bigger than this, right? Clear this out a little bit. This is monster balance versus this little guy. And the zones drawn from other stuff prior just happened to be, again, the top of this balance or close to it anyway. So again, this is still a bullish market overall, unless if we get through this high volume node, again, high volume node is the middle of a balance area, then I'll be looking for a big sell-off. But we're far enough from this. We haven't really, this is a gap down into an important area. You can't possibly take longs now. The main trade was yesterday at the close. So I can trade, you can trade either way now. I'd rather see some balance built in the 5 minute and then take some trades off of that. And there's really nothing right now. So these zones are all confluent with what you just saw on the hourly chart. This is just the 5 minute. Like this is far enough stretched down where you can probably take longs if you want to. If I see a big enough volume setup, I will do that. Let's take a look at these. That's a 150, and this is a 181. That's a lot. Let me give this a shot. Let's see here. Get the zone drawn. Again, I don't like it. I'm trying to structure this where I get through all the markets first, and then come back to this stuff. But if it's occurring, then I gotta pay attention to it. So this is, we don't know what this is yet, but I can totally see this being a Dumb and Dumber, right? Stop, run, no follow through, gone. I'm gonna go long here and give this a shot. Let's see if it starts to skip away a little bit. I'm gonna stop and note right there. Probably should look at the market profile. Yeah, I mean, you got to favor shorts now that we have accepted into this, but I could see a move back because the tendency for these markets a lot of times is once they get inside, a little bit inside, they will revert to the, so this is today. This is a riskier long, don't get me wrong, but it's not the worst trade. The tendency is to retest and then go. but this could be a straight shot to here too. So there we go. See what happened here. All right, filled there. So you see this. This was the stop and hold. I mean, I'm sorry, Dumb and Dumber. Stop, run, no follow through. Got long. Stop's going to go just below it. I'm not going to mess around with this thing. Actually, I'll go a little bit below because it does tend to blip. So I'm looking for my first target is going to be right around the 6140 area. And that was that big area yesterday that we talked about, 6140, 6150, where the market stopped, right? On that big sell-off. So I'm not going to wait for it to bust out of here. If we get up here and we can't get through here, I'll probably cover the whole thing just because this is still technically, again, it's not bearish, but it's accepted back into this guy probably. So we'll see. All right, let me see, a lot of beeping going on here. After purple on Friday, I'll get back to that. Yes, nice bird buying. Scott, I just joined. Can you please send me the link for the video voice? All right. All right. What do here? Why is this over here? Okay. All right. So again, this is an aggressive long, but I'm playing my signals. We're far enough away from balance. We're into the top of that big balance area. Give it a shot. All right. Let's quickly get into these equities. So we talked yesterday. This is the same exact look as we had yesterday when we broke down, right? Or the day before. So again, watch the webinars. We went over this. In here, remember 52 to 59, there was like 9,000 icebergs at the close. Overnight, we like blipped above it a little bit, and then we did this at the open, right? Yesterday, we talked about the same thing. There were big icebergs, and again, it's been nothing but big sell icebergs. It's completely different from this whole move up. It was all buy icebergs. Now it's been all sell icebergs. That's telling you something. It means I think a bigger move is coming now. And anyway, we saw icebergs. I think it was like 25, if you guys can tell me, because I gave you an assignment to keep track of where the icebergs were. I didn't do it myself because I figured someone would do it. So if you guys have that in your spreadsheet, like you should, keep track of prior huge icebergs. I think it was like 20, I want to say 22 to 30, right? So the same thing's happening now. If we get below this guy, all this ice that was up here, all this invested guys that were invested buying into those sell icebergs are going to puke, and you're going to get your move down. So it's probably going to, again, this is still a trending market. This is what trending markets do. They form balance, conviction down, form balance, conviction down, form balance, conviction down. And I think this is what is starting because of, again, the main reason is all we're seeing is sell icebergs now. And I haven't seen that basically ever since I've been following this for a year. So I'm definitely leaning short. I'm not going long until we can break out of this balance to the upside. Then I will consider longs, at least short-term longs, you know, up to the areas where we broke down or prior balance. But I don't really want to go long. I want to see this hold, and I want to see this break down, which I think is going to happen here. So we'll watch that for signals. This is decent buy ice for pre-market. 381. Again, it's not showing on the graph, but you can see here there is one order of 1,200 ice right around this. If this breaks, that can be the fuel to get through this 41.25 level. Speaking of which, I didn't look at spot gamma. Let's look at that real quick. Very important. Let's see here. Nothing is working today for me. Futures are flat, less than currently 41.25. Again, he's talking, when he talks, he's talking the cash price that you can see on the futures. On the, he's talking this price here, over here, which is equivalent to 41.14. Gamma reduces as a rule. We're pricing it more volatility today. That's what I like to hear. Like volatility. I'm about to get stopped out of my gold, by the way. Maybe. So I put it a little lower because gold has a tendency to pop below. Let's see if this can hold. If not, I'm just going to wait. I don't know why these long signals are not working to the upside when the thing is bullish. But anyway, we know support 4100, resistance at 4150. Again, 4100 on the cash. So that's all the way down here, which I think we're going to be visiting sooner than later. Why does he not have it marked? That's interesting. Well, I'm assuming 4100 is this, or it might be 4189. Let's see, what's the difference here? 4125, that's 11 points. Yeah. So it's the 4189. This is the, and that's the zero gamma level. So I have a feeling we're going to be testing that probably pretty quickly here. The open. Chart below shows S&P realized volatility. He's picked up a bit from recent pulls and crash lows. Seems primed to push higher if you're looking for a further downside. All right, see, this is where he starts to lose me. I start getting confused, so you guys can dig into that. Some of the stuff he says is just like, wait, what? As we mentioned today, a few days ago, the potential for gamma to sell off is here, but markets need a push. We have VIX expiration this morning, which may provide some wiggle room for market volatility, but bulls hold the edge unless 4100 is broken. But that's still going to be, that's still 30 points from where we're at, right? I'll take a 30-point move down there and see what happens. All right, so the big takeaway from that is expect some more volatility, or more volatility today, which is good. All right, that crude trade's working out. I just don't want to miss this exit here, potential exit. So if it gets near 61.40, if I'm not talking about it, let me know, guys. One second here. All right. Oh, and then also on the market profile, we're just balancing. Remember yesterday we couldn't get hold below this profile. No, got back in it. This is where all that ice was. Oh, UTXN, thank you. 23 to 30 was all that iceberg, and you can see that's where we held overnight. And this is exact look that happened the night before. So remember I said get short. You get short at 20 and put your stop at like 33 or 34, whatever I said. Yeah, you're risking 10 to 15 points, but if this thing gets going, but anyway, it didn't happen overnight. It doesn't matter, but it definitely could have, and I still think it's going to happen. So anyway, watch to see if we bust through here and then get through these little guys. I think it's going to get ugly, but we'll see. NASDAQ, same look. It's a yes. This is what you want to see, guys, for your like trading areas, right? Like you want to see nice balance areas built. When this thing goes, that's where you want to play it. Or if you want to play reversions, you play the edges to go to the other edge. I don't like playing reversions. I like look for breakouts. I actually don't really like playing the initial breakout because so many times it'll do this, then it'll go. That's the trade that I like, kind of like we just talked about in crude that I didn't take yesterday because I'm a moron. I don't like free money. That's that. The other thing I wanted to show too in ES is, so this is the 5 minute. So you had this balance going back into yesterday, right? That's what I just showed you on the hourly too. I consider this a potential breakout, right? And we struggled where? The top of that ice, where that ice came in yesterday. And now we went right through the high volume node. We're building balance down here. This could be a nice downside trade. That's what I'm looking to play. I'm not really looking for longs right now. Excuse me. NASDAQ looks the same but different. This was we had balance here, right? Built balance here, tried to break down. What are the two areas that should hold if we're still bearish? When we come back, the bottom of balance, the high volume node, right? It tried to hold, got higher, looked like it was going to go, held the high volume node, built another balance, and now we're below that, and now we're building another balance. This is all stored energy for a move down, and this from yesterday. So I'm, again, looking short and everything again. If those areas are violated to the upside, then I'll change my thesis for the day, right? Okay, yeah, I'll look at greens here in a second. I just want to get to this before it opens. This was yesterday's trade. You can see we could not accept into this guy here. Tried, close in here. Now we're right on the edge here. So again, if this thing starts to move, if this thing gets up here and starts to break above, then I'll change my outlook at least for a move up into this again, right? Where that prior balance was on the 60. Right? Again, I have an idea what I want to see, but if I don't see it, it doesn't mean I'm just going to keep putting on shorts, right? If this thing breaks out of this guy to the upside, then I'll potentially take a long. I mean, you do have this guy right here in the high volume node. That's not, I mean, it's still probably going to be close to 100 points. I just want to see this go like that, basically. So we'll see if that happens.
YMIs.
Again, just like yesterday, you start to hear the stuff in the smaller products like the YM, the thinner traded part, YM and ES. I mean, YM and Russell, it usually signifies a bigger move is coming.
YMIs.
There we go. Let's see if this is. Let's see if this is so ice. There you go. There's the Russell. Let's see what the size is. Buy ice in the Russell. This is sell ice coming in ES. Not a ton.
Russell ice.
Again, this is not a good place to be putting trades on, guys. This is right in the middle of this balance area. We've talked about this again. I mean, you can if you have to put on a trade. Look where we're at. This is where you're going to get whipsawed. Just wait. There's no reason to force trades. Again, just sitting back and waiting is better, much better than putting on a losing trade because then you need 2 winning trades to make up for it, usually, right? But you shouldn't if you're taking multiples on your wins, but I don't want to get into that right now. Oh, let's see what VIX is doing here. So VIX just formed one big balance yesterday as well. Wait, this isn't right. I mean, this was right from yesterday, but where are we at here? Oh, we're way up here. That's interesting. Oh, you know why is today the expiration? Is that that's what he said on the thing, spot gamma. I think that's why we moved up. I was gonna say, well, how did we have this big of a move up and we didn't sell off? Well, it's because I think this is the new month here. But either way, just keep an eye. We'll keep an eye on that. And there's my freezing.
And Q ice.
All right, so the bottom of this balance is right around 10. Again, I'm not going to be like in a hurry just to jump on this the minute it breaks down, because you know what it's going to do, because it does it every time, right? It's going to do one of these, and then it'll do like a little pop, and then it'll go, especially the downside. Like the buyers just always try to push it back up. So I'm not worried about missing an initial break. I just want to see it finally break.
Russell ice.
Russell. It's not threshold on the chart, but it is if you hear it, it's threshold. It's just not showing on the chart. This is showing net, but I don't know why this is not showing me on my icebergs on chart. I have it as 100. Interesting. Let's see what happened in Dow. This was threshold in the Dow. Again, I'm not going to draw this right now, but you can see here this sell ice. This is what this buying ran into. So look at all that liquidity in the Dow above, though. That's interesting. That's interesting. Again, this might not be ready to break, right? We could go all the way to the top of that balance. Again, all the way up here, but it's going to have some issues getting through there because of all that invested ice yesterday and guys that were buying into that sell ice that are now like, oh, that didn't work out. It's 10 points in my face, right? If it does get above there, then I will reconsider my short thesis. Excuse me. All right, let's look at grains, because I think there's some good opportunity there too. I did not get stopped out of gold. Hanging by, that's why you want to go a little bit below on these thinner traded markets. I'm just waiting for another signal and I will add. I think this is gonna rip. Where's my crude? There you go. So that's close to 40. Hopefully you guys took that. I will get a signal, bearish signal. I'm out of the whole thing. But 40 is that top of that balance area. I mean, value area in the market profile. All right. So I'm not just going to get out right here, right? This is where you want to watch the bubbles, right? The bubbles are there. You don't really trade off of them unless it's in an important area. Now, if I see red come in, I will cover half of this trade. If I just see blue right through the thing, why do I want to get out? Why do I want to sell if no one else is selling, right? So you pay attention to your areas, right? But if you don't see any selling there, why you don't need to get out right there, right? This thing could just rip. Then that's even more bullish. Then I'll add to the trade because now we're out of this thing and it could get all the way back up here again. See what I mean? Like there's no selling. Bye-bye. Which email could be when you're talking about the for the webinars? Check your oh, you obviously can't hear me. Well, maybe you can. He's typing. Well, how do you hear me? Or could you hear me? Oh, you're able to log in? That's interesting. All right, I'll look and send it to you. Now look, if this, see how this is struggling now? It's coming back. If this starts to run below 40 again, I'm gonna get out of half of these. If it holds here and moves higher, then I'll add to it. It's nice that equity's not to do anything while I'm watching this trade. All right, I'm just gonna stop out of this right here if it comes any lower. Two of those. Hopefully buyers will engage and push higher. All right, let me Okay, I'll look into that when I'm done here. I'll make sure. Check your spam folder too.
NQ ice.
Let's see what's going on here. Get rid of this liquidity tracker. So we had one. There's been nothing yet for NQ as far as on the graph here. No threshold, I mean. Teetering on the abyss. We get below this tail. We got all this stored energy. This was the tail that held it up yesterday. Adios. We're looking at somewhere over here for your first target. That's close to 100 points lower. Same look as yesterday, what's starting to occur. It's going to put up a fight though, as usual. So we'll just wait. Again, if this starts to break down, I don't get a signal, I'm not taking the trade as far as my volume. I need the volume as my main driver. I get stopped out of crude. Yes. Of course. Hey, look at that. It's the first time for everything. Pretty close to the tick. All right, so I still have two on. Again, if this can't get, I may just cover this whole thing just because this is an important area. If this comes back below in here, I'm probably just going to get out because it's not able to. It's not able to hold out of this thing. I usually wait for to get out of my other half of my. Here we go. I usually wait for a opposite signal on the volume to get out. There we go.
NQ stocks.
There we go. This is actually a bullish setup.
NQ stocks.
Let's see if it can rip through there. Again, there's no reason to like feel like you're going to miss out. You know this thing's going to pop back a little bit, or it should, because it always does. But this is actually, you got huge ice, buy ice, stop trying to stop this. Huge stop run. This is technically right now a bullish setup, right? You got the dumb money puking into the smart money. So let's see what happens here. This was last night, by the way. I put this in last night. This was the double win, or this was the Dumb and Dumber yesterday that this thing ripped out of, and now you can see it's through it. This is what I thought we were going to break down last night. I posted it in the room if you guys want to see it. All right, what am I doing here? Let's draw this zone. I'm going to clear these drawings. I'm going to get this zone drawn. Start it here. Here. Ice is still coming in too, by the way. And that's fine. If they want to fight right now, then it is what it is. But when it breaks below this, that's fuel for the next huge move down. And again, I've said this 1,000 times, the tendencies of, especially when it's broken ice, when they lose, they don't like to lose and they get it back to the area. So even if this thing, you can be very aggressive. I'll probably, let's see how big this zone is. Yeah, 30, a little over 30. So this is a 30-point zone. So again, you have to position size based on how much you have to risk. It's not, I'm going to put on normal size. We talked about this at the close yesterday. It's not, I'm going to put on normal size and I'm only going to risk to here because that's all I can afford. No, you put on less size so you can risk up here because this is where is it important, not in here. The market doesn't care that you don't want to lose a certain amount of money. We talked about this yesterday. Don't get me on that tangent. But Anyway, if this breaks below, I'm gonna aggressively get in a half size, and then look at that too, by the way. I wonder what's gonna happen there. But what happens 80% of the time, especially when ICE is wrong, it does this, then they get it back, then they can cover their trade that they were wrong on, and then that fuels the real move, right? The retest failure. So again, you don't have to like try to jump on this thinking you're gonna miss it, especially because these obvious trades, right? This is so obvious we're gonna be breaking down out of a balance area. That's where the algos just like to shove it down your throat, right? Like right here, it looks like, you know, how many guys are gonna try to jump on this, and then it'll do one of these and they'll trade back to the high volume node, then it'll go, something like that, right? So my point is, you don't have to be too aggressive. You can get in a piece, right? That's why I'm gonna do half size. But I know it's probably going to retest it. And then if it fails, then I'll be full size. Right? Or this can hold and rip right now. Doesn't mean it has to go right now. I mean, technically that would be a failed breakout, breakdown, right? This is the balance. We got below this tail, put another little tail. If this doesn't hold, again, it's not a failed breakdown until it crosses the high volume node of this guy. And then I would definitely be looking for longs up to this area. But how many guys are going to get screwed here? One, because they don't know what just happened volume-wise. That's why volume's so important. So if this thing does rip, you know why. Because of this. Nobody knows this. Less than 1% of traders even have this information would be my guess. How many guys played the breakdown right now that are saying, why is this thing not going? What happened? Well, because 300 icebergs stopped the move. All these guys here that thought they had the breakdown, right? Oh, look at that. I wonder what's going to happen. I wonder if they're going to have to puke their positions now. This is why it's, here we go, guys, on gold. The moment we've been waiting for. My alert just went off that I had in gold. This is only, I was expecting to see more though. All right, so we're looking for a stop and hold. Now I can trail my stop up at least, right? Because this is threshold. This is almost 200. This is over 200, right? Yeah, 233. Let's get this drawn quickly. Came into here-ish. Started there. Put right there.
Third stops. Third stop.
And didn't give me a chance to add to that. It's what I've been waiting for. How many days have we been talking about this? At least come back to this one. This is what I was expecting. This is exactly what I was expecting last night, right? What I was telling you guys. All right, what I'd like to see is this pull back to the bottom of this stop. And I can add to this trade. Look at that. It's pretty. That's pretty. There's that zone. My goodness, come on. All right, so if this turns around and starts to rip out, I have to add here, right? I'd rather this pull back here, and then I can put what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna trail this stop up here. See this guy here? That goes here. That should not come back if this is a legitimate breakdown or breakout. Okay, now I'm gonna get in more. And then that stop goes in the same spot. So now we have two positions on. Should be three, but I missed that stop and hold. This was a stop and hold that we just drew, right?
Gold ice. Third stop.
Here we go. It's the moment we've been waiting for. Here's more. Now I can trail my stop again. I will add another position above this guy. We get above there. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to move all these up to here. Not all these two positions. If this gets above, I will add another position. Do you see how, guys, this is what you wait for. You sit there and you tread water, and when you get the trending trade, you're getting signal after signal after signal, then you have a reason to trail your stop, not because you don't want to lose back profit, because this is all based on what happened, right? So if this busts through, I'm now then going to move my stop up for these two positions up here, and then my stop for this one that will get filled on will be in the same spot. And then if it pulls back, it pulls back. I made a great profit on 2 of the 3 trades. I don't see any typing in here. Is there a lot of guys just watching this and not? We've been talking about this for 3 days. This is it. This is the big one, Elizabeth. This is the next zone up here, 1810. Cool, that's fine. At least you're participating. Trust me, the more you see this, then you're going to be trading a full 1 lot. Then you're going to be trading a 2 lot. Then it'll be a 5 lot. Then it'll be a 10 lot. Because when you see the thing happen, 55 times, you're not going to be afraid to take the trade. All right, I'm filled on that. So what I'm doing here is this. I'm going to keep it pretty tight because I can see this thing pulling back to here. So we got 3 positions on. Stop out of all 3 right there. That comes back. Of course, I got filled to the exact tick up here. I got my other account for that. Here, let me put my stop. What's that price? About 15. Actually, what I'm gonna do, because of this context, right, this big breakout, I am going to, might not even matter. If I get stopped out, I was gonna leave 2 on just to let it run. That's what I'm doing with my other account. And I'll make that come back all through all these stop runs before I stop out of the last one, right? You have to decide on that, what you want to do, right? And you, as you get more experience, then you can decide how aggressive you want to be. So I'll get out of 10 of these if it comes back, and then my last one will be way below all of this, where this stuff came in over here. I'm gonna get rid of this guy just because it's not relevant right now. That's gonna confuse me. All right, so we had stop and hold. Stop and hold. Hopefully stop and hold. If not, if this turns, this is a chance to go. If not, it'll be a dumb and dumber, and then I'll be out of most of them, and I'll just wait for my next opportunity. But you can see, like, you wait for your structure stuff, and then when you get it, when you see the volume confirming it, it's go time, and you don't hesitate. $157 buy ice now, that's good. Can even add to that. I'm not going to add again right here because I added right here, but it's good to see papers coming in trying to hold it. What happened with crude, by the way? You're probably going to get another 500 stop run on this thing. See how important it is, guys, to know the context of the market, right? To know everything from market profile to where we are in the balance areas. This all told us that this thing was going to rip. It happened right away when we were on, but it could have taken 4 hours. It doesn't matter. You knew at least not to go short. That's a win in itself, right? And we talked about this. Right? Again, go back to the webinars from earlier this week, Monday and Tuesday. We talked about this guy here. Talked about how we had then balance within balance. We tried to break down and ripped right through it. Ripped right through it. There was another balance, ripped through that one. And then we started to build. And it was tough. They'll break down. Then we built that. Then we've been trying to get long, and now here's the move we've been waiting for. More gold ice. Where are my icebergs on chart on this one? 150. I'll make it 100 just so I can. There we go. Yeah, you see how that was just below 150? That's why it didn't show. I made it 100 and look at that. So again, this should not come back to this area. Thanks, Emiliago. Am I saying that right? Hey guys, if you didn't catch that trade, don't like be beating yourself up. There's only going to be about 5 million more of them, right? That's why you're in the room, to learn how to read this stuff, right? This is working out nicely. So I got stopped out of half. I got out of what I should have. This hasn't given me a chance to add though, but there's still 2 on, so that's good. What are equities doing? I'm very quiet.
Gold ice,
Really, huh?
NQ stocks,
Oh, by the way, NQ. Yeah, this is why I'm telling you guys, if you don't use volume, you don't have all of the information. How many guys thought we were breaking down there and just got it shoved down their throat? This is 100 point, 90 point move. And you knew if you wanted to go long, you could have. I didn't, which is fine, right? My contacts told me not to go long, but I certainly didn't go short because this was telling you real-time volume was not agreeing with the breakdown. So why would you go short? You don't know that if you're trading off a bar chart or even market profile, right? Guys, lines are lines, areas are areas. I mean, market profile, you may have stayed out of it because it touched the bottom, but you need the real-time volume. That's what drives markets. Lines on your chart do not drive markets. It's the volume that drives markets. That's why Bookmap is so important in the SI indicator. If you guys don't have the SI indicator, I know it's expensive. I know the data fee is expensive and so on and so forth, but you're trading, you're trying to trade for a living. I mean, it's like a business expense. I talk about this on the webinars too. If you owned a restaurant, you wouldn't like not buy a stove because it was too expensive, right? You wouldn't not hire waitresses because it's too expensive. It's a cost of doing business. If you want to do this for a living, you've got to fork up the cash, you know, initially to get the stuff that you need to do this. You know, again, I'm all for saving money on stuff that you don't need to spend money on. Like that's why I use Thinkorswim. It's free. You put $100 in there and you get the charting platform for free. That's why I use Sarah Chart. This is $35 a month. It's a pain in the ass, pardon my language, because you got to literally do everything yourself. Speaking of which, I put, I think it was, what was it yesterday? Just look at the pinned tweets at the top. I put in the, oh yeah, UTXN. I don't know. You guys put all these names in, I don't know how to pronounce. UTXN? Like, how do you pronounce that? Anyway, he was nice enough to put his template for this market profile for Sierra. So get Sierra, it's $35 a month. Get the market profile if you don't have it on your charting. Save money that way, but you don't save money on things that you absolutely have to have. Right? All right, so now we're getting above that ice now from yesterday. Now this thing could potentially rip higher, right? I will change my tune. Look at this, we're breaking out of this balance, right? I didn't do anything in this. Right? I was waiting, and now we're breaking out. What's the next area if this thing gets motoring? The bottom, where this also broke down from yesterday. This area, 50 to 40-ish. High volume node. If we get above that, then we're going all-time highs. I know that'll be shocking the most. What I'd love to see is what? Failed breakout. I would love that. Then I will get short once we get through the high volume node, and that's that same 20 area. I will gladly get short there. I won't even wait for a break of the balance. So keep an eye on this. You could trade long if a long signal comes in. Just be alert to these areas. Bottom, also where this broke down from, and then the high volume node as far as where you're going to get out of some of your trade. And then you can use your market profile stuff too. Important area here. We're breaking out of that balance. We're trying to break out of this composite. Again, it was telling yesterday, couldn't hold out, couldn't hold out, couldn't even get out today. Now we're going to do that. And then up here, and here's another thing, guys. When the individual days, so we always talk about, so how I merge these is if 2 days, if the value areas overlap, at least from, so say this was this day, 50%, then I'll merge them and draw this. But you also do this when you get 3 days that are all confined within each other. So you got this one was not, but then this one was, you merge all of these and come up with your composite. That's what we'll do right now. So you go merge, merge, draw the composite. And there you go. And what is that area confluent with? The bottom of that thing? What we just showed. The bottom of that balance and where we broke down from. So if you get a long signal, we're trying to get out of this now. We're breaking out of that balance that we just talked about. You could take a trade, at least up here. That's, you know, that's going to be 12, 15 point trade just to this. Then if we get inside of this, the tendency is to go to the other side. So do you see, like I had a bearish bias, but it didn't, it's not agreeing with it. So now it doesn't mean I just turn around and flip and say I want to be long. If it starts to violate certain areas of the upside, then I'll change my tune, which I'm about to, right? That's how you trade, guys. You come up with if-then scenarios. If this happens, then I'll do this. If this doesn't happen, then I'm going to do this.
Gold ice.
Gold is just rip it, man. Let me see what's going on in gold here. Look at that. This, guys, this is how you have. What is this? All right, so if this breaks, I'm going to get out of half of these. Actually, I probably get out of 3/4 because this is close enough to threshold. It's 146. And I'll get out and I'll wait for my next bullish signal. So sell ice still coming in, right? So if this comes down here, I'm out. Like that. I'm out. There you go. I rode that thing as far as I could. Why did I get out? Because, did I get out because the P&L was awesome? I'll show you how this come too when I'm chirping. Yeah, it's weird. My CQG's froze up every single time. It's unbelievable. This just came back. Hold on one second, guys. All right, so this is
Russell ice.
I could potentially re-enter something. I won't put on that full size like I had on, but this would be broken ice then, right? Let's see what happens here. Where's my jar? That started coming in here, down to here. I actually put that into, my stop needed to be down here at 60. I didn't let that materialize enough. Let's see what's going on here. I still think this may be the end for right now. But my stop should have been down here. I didn't see how this was still coming in and they jumped the gun right here. My stop should have been down here. This was
Russell ice.
not the right spot and I'm going to cost myself. So I'll get back. If this starts to rip, I'm going to get back in and just one position. Because this will be broken ice, right? Sell ice tried to stop it right through it. We are pretty extended. Again, I don't fade conviction, but if we have conviction in important areas, that's actually a great reversal trade. I don't want to reverse trade. I want to stay long gold, but let's see if we're into a prior area here. Come on, man. Come on, man. There we go. So when my here we go. No, that's right. So I don't have any composites here. up until here, 18, 15. These are all single days. Actually, this has got to be a composite right here. I must not have, obviously didn't draw this. I think this guy is too. Let me draw these real quick. Yep, this was 2 days. Actually, this was a 3-day merge, right? Like we just did with the ES. They all overlap. Actually, no, I'm sorry. That does not overlap. So this was a 2-day composite. Again, I'm going to start doing different colors for the days because obviously more than 2 days is like a 5-day composite. It's more powerful than a 3-day one. But anyway, now let's see where we're at here. We're coming right up to that 1800. So I will definitely watch that area. So what I was saying is great trades are convictional moves where all the energy is in the move and then it hits an important area. That's where you usually get the, so I mean, you could, if you dare, you can short there, but I don't want to short. Where's my longer term chart? Because I know 1800 was an area on the balance stuff too. My zone is up here more. Let's see here. Yeah, so that 1810 area is anywhere around there, but you can see here, this is when we broke down out of this huge convictional move here. This is a daily chart. Started from here. So that's where you want to watch. We're getting pretty close. I don't really want to screw around with it if it starts to struggle. All right. All right, so if this comes back lower, I'm just going to cancel this again anyway, because this is then going to be an iceberg or Titanic setup, right? Sell ice, buying right in a sell ice, holds, and then fails. And then you just look for a new area. What's probably going to happen now is we'll probably pull back out of here. We'll build balance for however many hours, right? Where's the other chart? Struggling with my charts today, struggling with everything. At least my trades have been good. Hold on, guys. I'll get to your questions too. I'm just trying to get this stuff all. So this move doesn't look that drastic on this, right? I can see this definitely going right in here. But we may just form balance and then break out of that. We'll see. All right, so I'm canceling this. This is now below this, right? Make sure I got it on my account. Other account. Oh, I didn't share. That's the other thing I was going to ask now that things are slowing down. So when I didn't have my webcam on today. I thought I turned it on. I don't care if I have my webcam on. I was told when I was doing the We Trade Desk stuff that members engage more if you show your screens and yourself and blah, blah, blah. And then one of the members here emailed me today and said the screen's not big enough when I show myself. First of all, when I'm here, I'll even show you. So when I share my webcam, so you should see my pretty face at the top, but you can, and it looks like it's like half and half almost. There's a little arrow at the top of the screen I'm sharing. You can pull up and like minimize my mug, right? So you can either do that, or I don't have to have the webcam on, whatever you guys prefer. It doesn't matter to me. I'm just going by what the We Trade Desk guy told me, and you know, he's the pro at that stuff. He's been doing it for a long time. So, oh yeah, oil. Forgot about that. Let's see if this is an area. Yeah, that's what I said, Jay-Z. So again, but some guys didn't know that. I don't have any area really here in crude. I'm sure it's a TAS area, but is this, I don't think this was composite, was it? No. So I'm gonna hold this until I get a bearish signal. All right, so Doug says no webcam. Dr. Purple says prefer to see more charts instead of webcam. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why you would need to see my webcam. I mean, I know it's fun to stare at me, but I think the charts are more important. All right, majority wins, no webcam. You got it. Then I can just trade my underwear and no shirt, right? Is that cool? Yeah, you don't want to see that. All right, let's see what's going on here. Yeah. No shirts, no shoes, no service. Cal, don't start talking about your gross stuff either. That was gross. Golden shower nonsense. But I did get a golden, it wasn't a golden shower, but that was a nice gold trade, guys. We were waiting. See, when you're patient and you catch the move, then you make that's like a, you know, a week, a month making day with multiple positions on. We played that perfectly. And I wasn't trailing stops because I didn't want to give back profit. I was trailing stops based on structure, what was happening in the setup. Exactly, pays the month. All right. So let's see what happened here earlier. Says Russell. This was threshold in here somewhere. It's not showing on here, but we're here in Russell Ice, and that's where I'm not going to mark it up because I want to see it on the chart, at least on the chart, or I want to see it on the graph. But anyway, this is where that held, and off to the races. And then what do we say too? When I said, "Oh, that's interesting," we looked at the Dow. All the liquidity was above. I'm like, that's not the sign of a. Look at that. Oh, well, that is. I cannot believe that happened. Did paper get what they wanted? I can't believe it. I can't believe they just put their orders in and it went right to it like it was a magnet. First time for everything. Or it happens nonstop in all these markets because, again, guys, you can sit there and complain, the algos and the big money, they run the show, it's all rigged. It absolutely is all rigged. But if you know how they're rigging it, that you can make money, right? So that right there, and this is what I'm going to expect from you guys going forward. Like if I'm talking a bear scenario, you guys need to be looking at these markets and be like, hey Scott, but there's a ton of liquidity above in the Dow. Did you see that? That's the type of stuff, right? Because this is the stuff. This is why we have this room in this community. Guys can share stuff that I may miss, you may miss. Like that's the whole idea of this, right? So I even said, that's interesting because there was something firing off right at the beginning here. There was sell ice, and I'm like, I had not seen that. I'm like, And then, hey, look what happened. Shocking, 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 shocking. Again, you can sit there and complain that the world's against you, or you can join in on the party. If you can't beat them, join them, right? And take it from me. I complained I got knocked out of the game, guys. I was a millionaire trader, multi-millionaire, and I got knocked out of the game. So if anyone's going to complain, it's me, right? So when I finally just succumbed to the realization that, algo's running the show, paper's going to get their way. Okay, well, let's just learn what they're doing, and then we don't have to complain anymore, and we can make money, right? Quickly, let's look at grains because those actually look like some of the nicest setups. What's this here in crude? Still haven't got any signals to get out. I guess I stepped out to that tick too. Yeah, of course I did. So this is what I complain about. Look at that. Yeah, see, and the thing is, it's like, I know you guys think, well, don't put it so close. If I put it down here, trust me, that's the low, and then it does it. Again, I say it on my webinars and the book map. That's my curse, I guess, for making millions at one point. I have to be stopped out to the tick every single time. I used to get really, really upset about it, but again, did me no good. Now I just complain. So you guys can hear me complain all the time about it. Because trust me, you will, after a while, you're gonna be like, wow, that is pretty uncanny. It's ridiculous, ridiculous. I've been trading for 22 years, 23 years, and it's just, it doesn't stop. All right, grains. Oh man, did I miss a wheat? This is not cool. This is exact before I even look at the wheat and get upset. I didn't hear anything though, right? This is what you want to see. Talked about this yesterday. We took this long yesterday. I was on the wrong month because my book might restarted, so I didn't hear anything negative go off, but I drew this zone today. I'll show you that was an area from before. But anyway, I'm sure there was probably something here bearish to get out. I didn't, and I ended up getting stopped out. I lost a little bit on it. But this is exactly what you want to see. Breakout, we pulled back, built balance, broke out, came back again, put in a buying tail, off to the races. Well, now let's see what we missed on the, see if there's anything here. This is upsetting. This is a 15-point trade, 15-cent trade already.
Russell ice.
There's nothing threshold though. Very strange. Well, so at least I'm not mad. Yes, the context said long, but unless I get my signals on this, I'm not getting long. Look at all of them. This could pull back again because they didn't get their fill and then they're not chasing it, right? This could do one of these, they get their fill, then it'll go, or they might have to chase it. Who knows? But I'm not going short to play off this liquidity is what I'm saying. I'm hoping it pulls back to give me another chance at a long. But again, I'm not mad. Yeah, it sucks. This is a nice trade. We've been talking about being long wheat, but I didn't get any signals. It's probably because we're in the middle of a roll into July too. But the volume looked pretty substantial in July yesterday. So I don't know why we're not getting any signals. Where am I at? Wheat. Wheat. Why would they not have wheat? I hate this new website. Corn, there we go. Sorry, take that back. So you go here and then you go to quotes and then you look at the months that have the most volume, right? This is 3 times more volume in July. So I don't know why we're not getting versus May. I don't know. I don't know. All right, let's see what's going on in Russell. We did not look at Russell on the long-term stuff. Look at this, and then I'll look at beans and I'm gonna hop off because I need a break. I'm not feeling very good. That threshold, there was 100 here. Nothing there. Yes. Nothing really size coming in here either. What's the tick doing? Mostly staying above zero, right? This is the stuff that you want to monitor as the day goes on. Here's a zero line. It's staying mostly above zero. These are the stocks that drive the markets, the indices, right? Futures. Just a couple blips below, where you need to start taking notice if you start getting extremes. This was pretty, no. So if you start seeing like 800, 900, 1,000 blips down, that's one thing that could cause you alarm if you're long, or if this getting gets below here and starts staying below zero, right? Again, you don't just trade off of this alone, but you use that for information, just like you use the VIX, right? VIX ripped down, that's why equities ripped up. Just remember what he said too, expect a volatile day. So this, this could just turn into one big, again, what I'd love to see is if they'll break out. Where are we struggling? Bottom of balance. That's the first line of defense for the bears. What's the next line? High volume node, which is confluent with where this ripped down from yesterday. So even if this does rip up higher, it could stop right there and then do that. And we're still in a short-term bearish state. If we get above that, then you look for longs. You could play along here, hoping it gets up here. What I'd really like to see is one of these. That would make me very, very happy. All right, quickly beans, and I gotta hop off here. So this is, I mean, it couldn't look more bullish. Right? Talked about this. Monster balance, broke out, built a little guy here, gapped up. Now we built balance from today and yesterday, and we're about to break out of that again. If you get long signals, you can take that trade. Let's see what the market profile looks like, so we know some areas that we don't want to be, we may be wanting to cover at. Probably want to cover, cancel my gold stuff. Forgot those are in there. I do that all the time. There we go. All right. There's beans. Let's see what was prior. Wow, nothing. Is this all-time high for beans? Maybe, huh? I don't know. I don't follow beans that closely to know that. It's looking like it is though. Let's do this. Does this look pretty bullish? Look at that. Look at this thing. Goodness gracious. Look at that. Yeah, this has got to be. This is a weekly. Yeah, that guy rips. Again, the balance that we're looking at, well, this is it right here. That and that. Wow. Wow. There's some farmers that are happy, I can tell you that. All right, quickly see if there's any questions. Scott, what happened to the folks who shorted yesterday in ES 41.25, 42? They are all wrong now? Yeah, I mean, you don't know exactly what they did, but you know that area, we're through that area, right? So, hold on, let me pull it up. That was the area where I said, if we got above, then you got to change your tune, right? And then we know the breakout and everything else that we've talked about. So that was basically from here to here. So yeah, you know, I don't trade it like right now. If this pulls back, it'll probably do that because there'll be some covering, but I want to see some new stuff come in, right? I'm not gonna, I know in the back of my mind, meaning I know what was here. So if I would have seen a bullish setup as we rip through this area, that would, I just would have more confidence in the long. See what I'm saying? Because there were guys that were caught. I'm not going to trade off yesterday's trade per se, as far as taking along the minute we get above here, because I want to see something new, fresh, but just knowing in your mind, hey, all that ice, sell ice was in here yesterday and they're wrong, right? Just like if we pull back and you get something bullish, you know this sell ice is wrong, they're probably going to cover. A lot of them are, right? That's how you got to look at it. But I'm not trading that area right now. Overnight, I would have. if I was watching it, and it did hold on the first test up. It went up to 31 and then back down to 20. But just know that was the area. Just like if we rally up now, this is what we were talking about. Go watch the Monday webinar. I think it was Monday afternoon where that all this ice came in from here to here, right? So if this comes up here, I'm not going to trade that per se off of what happened 2 days ago. I just know this was a really important area. But if I get something bearish in this area, then yeah. And that just gives me more confidence that this area is going to hold. See what I'm saying? So you pay attention to the area if it's not recent, but you don't really trade off of it per se, unless you get something new, or I don't. Excuse me. 43 retrace for us. Hopefully some ice there. NQ double and these all grains. Yeah, thank you, Link, for reminding me of that. So I am going to exit this trade right now because I do not hold into numbers. And I would have forgotten about that, and then I would have been mad if the thing went screaming down. So wait for the number to come out, let it settle down, and then trade accordingly as far as, you know, the areas, right? We talked about this, that next composite up, right? What can happen is, these are some scenarios, right? These are if-then scenarios. We failed to hold inside this guy. This is where we took the long. Well, we took long down here, actually. It was an aggressive trade. When we broke out, I still held some. Tendency is either do this. S&P just fired off. And then retest and come up here, or we can go right up here. There might be a potential short too. So watch these areas once the number comes out for potential trades. Right now, we can go either way. Do you want to trade right in the middle here? I really don't. And numbers coming out, I got out. We're looking for possible shorts in here, possible longs back down here. If we get back inside here, I'll look for longs. We get back inside here, I'll look for shorts. And then I'll let the volume tell me if that's what's going to happen. All right, let's look at this. I really wanted to fail breakout. Yes. Let me guess, it's sell ice. Why is my little spot gamma guy not working today? Interesting. I don't know. I didn't do anything differently. That's why that's not working, because it's good for us to watch it before the official release. So when it comes out, you guys know how to use it. Yeah, threshold sell ice, almost 900 right here. So this is a perfect example of not trading this in a vacuum. Yes, if this holds, this is going to be bearish per se, right? We got from there to there. That started right around there, all the way up to there. There's the zone, right? Okay, let me color it too, just so I remember as we move into the afternoon. Speaking of the afternoon, guys, Wednesdays, I will not stream in the afternoon because I go play golf. Today may be an exception because I don't think I can play golf because I feel like crap. So I may be coming back on this afternoon. I'll let you guys know. But if not, just plan on me not being here Wednesday afternoons or Thursday mornings, because Thursday mornings I do the book math webinar. All right, so this is already broken ice anyway. So, but the reason why you did not want to short that, say that held, because we're breaking out of a balance area. I mean, technically, so this is a different scenario, right? Because we have this, yes, we're breaking out of this, but now we're breaking back into this. So you could take a short, you still could take a short if it fails, right? But normally what I'm saying is if you see a balance area by itself and there's nothing right above it, and we're breaking out, you don't want to be taking shorts. You're going to get run over. These guys have to puke their positions, right? This is a different type of scenario. This could hold right here and then sell back off. So we'll see. Granted, this is borderline outside this zone where I don't even want to mess with it. But if this just gets right back in here and then fails, you could possibly give a shorter shot and then see. If not, wait till we get up in this area You know all that ice was there. You know that's where we broke down from out of that balance area. That's going to be a much better place to short. And if we get above there, it's going to be a great place to go long.
Russell ice.
Right? This area right here. That was this balance area by volume node. So I can totally see us doing one of these, and then you watch it, and then you watch to see how we react at the top of this balance and at that volume node. If we go through both, then it's going to be ugly. So this isn't the best place to trade, is what I'm saying. But if you trade it either way right here, I wouldn't blame you. Put it that way too. Again, you got to decide how aggressive you want to be in certain areas, right? Like this isn't the best area as far as structure to be trading. So if you feel like you have to trade and you took a trade long, like this is not a short setup because we're above this. If you got long here, I wouldn't fault you, but you better be watching this area. This isn't much of a risk reward, right? Because we're probably going to stall at the 50. That's where that broke down from. So when you put on trades, you got to say, okay, not I want to risk 5 points on my trade and I want to get 20. You have to be realistic. It's not what you want. When you put on a trade, you say, okay, I'll risk 5 points because I think I can get 20. You're looking at this. You think you're going to get 20 points right away? I don't. I think it's going to have trouble getting through here. So do you really want to take a long where you got to risk 5 points to make 7? You could, but over the long run, you're not going to be a successful trader if you're taking basically 1-to-1 on your risk reward. So that's why you say, you know what, I'm just going to sit this one out. Let this materialize. When I get a trade where I think I can get 4-to-1 on my risk, 5-to-1 on my risk, then I'll take the trade, right? That's why it's important to know your volume areas and what happened in the past. You know it's going to be very tough for this to pop right through that 50 to 59 area. Hopefully that makes sense. Random questions that matter if you use ES or SPY on Bookmap. Yeah, because SPY doesn't show you any of the SI indicator stuff. The SI indicator is just for futures. So yeah, it totally matters. I'll look at SPY for I don't have it up right now because I'm trying to keep minimum the stuff I'm watching. And I only look at the SPY and Qs for like where the liquidity investing, kind of like we saw with the Dow. But other than that, I'm trading ES, I'm not trading SPY. Oh, there's short squeeze. I'm trading ES, I'll look at ES and be like, I don't SPY because I cannot trade SPY. You sound like Dr. Seuss. I do not eat ham because I do not like ham. Whatever it is. All right, guys. So this is a good session. You guys saw how to add to trades, and you saw how to read market context, how not to jump the gun when like in the Nasdaq when it's telling you opposite, right? Really good session. I'm probably gonna start a YouTube channel with like select sessions so people can see the power of this thing. But I don't know if I'm gonna be back in the afternoon. I'll send an update. I'd say 70% I will be because I feel like crap and there's no way I can play golf. I don't think so. But if I see stuff, I will post it. And you guys do the same. What I want from you guys, what I ask from you guys is to be sharing stuff, especially, if you don't understand it yet, that's fine. But as you learn stuff, like, like the Dow liquidity, or pointing out the number, that was important too. That could have saved me big money, right? Stuff like that. You guys want to interact and help each other like an army of traders, right? You don't want to be these independent guys like little secret squirrels that are hiding their information, hiding their ideas. That's not what this room is for. It's for you guys to learn how to trade independently, but collectively, right? Trade independently meaning you learn to trade for yourself, but use everybody's knowledge together. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, I will see you guys probably at 2 p.m. Central. Thanks.